We're talking football right now. I have got with me in the studio my colleague, Okpeoluwa Adebari. Oh, I do call you Adebari star, but it's all good. Okay, it's time to talk football. Let's rock and roll, isn't it?
Definitely. It's a good day to talk football, so let's get into it.
Yes, let's get into it. I will begin with the domestic scene from Egypt. Egypt Premier League had 3 games played, 1 draw. We had, 2 draws. We had also 1 win, and away win for Al Masry there in the Egyptian Premier League. The results showing on your screen right now. Today, we expect Smuha and Adegoke to take the stage. Al Ittihad and Al Ahly should also take the center stage. ZFC and Fako FC will be in contention for the fixtures in the Egyptian Premier League. Moving away from here, let's talk about the Euros up there. I know that France, they would say France, we expected that they would come goal pouring with the likes of Germany, Spain, who came with a loud bang in the openers for the Euro 2024. But Kylian Mbappe, he produced a moment of magic, I would say, mixed with some good fortune to ensure that France had opened their game with a win. So stubborn in the hands of those Austrians that tried to take down the French national team. But that injury to Kylian Mbappe, I'm hoping that that's not the reason why France couldn't get more goals. He had a mixed night finishing, but he delivered a decisive contribution for the Le Bleu.
Definitely he did, and also he could have scored the second goal for me. He could have extended the lead for France. They created a lot of chances, but simply were not just able to dispatch those chances. And for me, it kind of put a glimmer in my mind, and I probably thought maybe Olivier Giroud should be starting more games for them. He's an out-and-out striker who is a bit more clinical in front of goal. We did see him come to play towards the end of the game after Mbappe got his injury.
I just feel that Olivier Giroud's presence in the team there is just for motivation, because he says, after this, I'm calling it quits,
Yeah, but then again, we can't just ignore the fact that he's the top goal scorer of the French national team, and he's a top goal scorer for a reason. He's a fox in the box. He lashes on to opportunities, and the likes of Dembele and Mbappe are accustomed to always providing service for him to score goals, especially during set pieces. I think Randall Kolomwani did not really have a good season, so his shooting boots currently are not on. So in the next games to come in the group stages, I believe we will see more of Olivier Giroud. But nevertheless, I must say, kudos to N'Golo Kante.
Yes, I wanted to mention his name right now. His performance was top-notch.
Top-notch.
He saved France from conceding another goal. Did you see that run?
Exactly.
Wow, it was a recovery run.
That's what we're accustomed to him. And there's a popular saying that 99% of the world is covered by the ocean, the remaining 1% is covered by N'Golo Kante. And we saw that last night.
Yeah.
Despite spending 1 season in the Saudi Arabian League, I think it's just good for me to say that form is temporary, but class is permanent.
And he's still going through a match ban from the red card he got in the Saudi Arabian Pro League. But that did not deter him. He was still match fit against the Austrian in that game.
Definitely. And, just like I said earlier, creating chances were not a problem for the French national team. I would actually tip them to go all the way to the final.
I'm also tipping them.
Yeah. And the only thing for me that would stop them has to be overconfidence. I think a lot of times during the game, I saw the likes of Theo Hernandez and Kylian Mbappe doing a bit of showboating when the game wasn't 100%.
Individual football.
Exactly. But I would give it up to Didier Deschamps to know what to do. He's been there. He's been at the driving seat for 8 years now. And he knows what to do in terms of how to charge his team to be focused and to get important results.
All right, we'll be hoping that the French national team can come up stronger and bigger when they come up in their second game for the Euro 2024. An update for Kylian Mbappe. For those who are lovers of Kylian Mbappe and did see that injury he kept up in their opener, France have now received a major boost in their hopes to win that Euro 2024. And Kylian Mbappe will not require surgery, any operation, after suffering that broken nose. Mbappe was forced out in a brutal injury during that later stages of the Le Bleu win over Austria in the opening game of the Euro 2024. It came after a nasty collision with Austrian defender Kevin Danso, leading to genuine fears that maybe Kylian Mbappe might need surgery or even has been ruled out of the competition. But they say miracle, no, they tire Jesus. So a miracle has happened in the Euros. And France are very, very happy that he will not be needing surgery.
Yeah, definitely. Him needing surgery means that he would be out for a longer period and probably, towards the latter stages. But good enough, he'll be able to heal and he'll continue to play the game at the knockout stages with with a mask. With all due respect to the remaining opponents they've got left in their last 2 games, I think France can do without Kylian Mbappe and, get victories and move on to the knockout stages easily.
All right. Good news for Didier Deschamps there. He will not be missing a player, very vital player. Let's talk about one player who has been banned after a very, very serious tackle. It was a serious rough play coming from UEFA. UEFA has banned Scotland defender Ryan Porteous just for 2 games. Now, this is because he went through a very rough tackle, which they term a serious rough play against Ike Goodwin. When I saw that tackle, I was like, come on, do you want to destroy his football career?
Definitely, it was
That was
wild.
a rough one.
Yeah, it was wild. First of all, it was a tackle in the box. Second of all, the nature of the tackle, it was a 2-footed challenge.
Do you think it was just too far to ban him for 2 games?
No, it's rightly so, because dangerous tackles like this...
He has been giving cards already now,
But at the end of the day, it was dangerous play, and tackles like this could lead to career-ending injuries. We've seen this a lot with other footballers, with the likes of Van Persie and Eduardo in the past. They've suffered from such tackles, Gareth Bale as well. But I think it was quite ridiculous from Ryan Porteous. He could have done a whole lot more better. He's an experienced defender, but I know he was desperate, because they had already considered 1 goal,
yes,
and he was trying to
the
stop
Germans were leading, so he
in.
was being too emotional and too desperate not to concede more goals from the Germans.
He ended up being of disservice to his team.
Yes, because they conceded a lot.
Exactly, they went 1 man down, and they ended up getting a proper thrashing. 5-1 it ended.
Yeah, 5-1 over there, and on goal, remember, Rudiger there. But let's talk about Belgium. It seems the whole thing following the likes of Lukaku, all the way from club level, has followed him down to the Euro 2024. Would say that 2 goals ruled out. But where did you see that coming for Lukaku? He tried.
Yeah, he did. Honestly, he gave his best, but it seems like there's some sort of bad luck that follows Romelu Lukaku anytime he goes to major tournaments with Belgium. I mean, during the friendlies, during the qualifiers, he's always there scoring goals for fun. He's their top goal scorer for a reason, surpassing Eden Hazard as well. But definitely, when it comes to competitions, it's difficult. But I think.
But what has happened to this Belgian team? I'm sorry to butt in. They are losing in the hands of Slovakia. Do you know where they are ranked? This is an upset for me. It's an upset.
Definitely.
Because Belgium parades the best of the best. Oh, come on now. Manchester United, Kevin De Bruyne, the playmaker himself. Then you parade such Jeremy Doku. You parade such players and you lose in the hands of the space between Belgium right now in the FIFA ranking and Slovakia, 49. And they lose in the hands of Slovakia. It's really, really, really an upset.
Yeah, well, first of all, when it comes to such competitions like this, knockout competitions, be prepared for a lot of, should I say, fantastic results where you wouldn't really expect them coming. A lot of unexpected results. I mean, we saw Romania also dispatching 3 goals, against Ukraine. But to be more precise with Belgium, I think they are not settled at the back when it comes to defense. They've really not had out-and-out fullbacks for a while. And also, injury is also a problem for them. And, because having someone like Yannick Carrasco, who is a natural winger, having to play left back says a lot. Not having other pure centre backs to partner with Fires has been a problem. De-Bast had to partner with Fires, and then you had Timothy Constant playing at right back, someone who prefers to play as a right wing back. So, despite the...
So would you say their woes started up from the setup?
Yes, definitely the setup. Because when you have those sort of players, I know it's difficult to play 4 at the back, but they ended up, building up with a 3 at the back, which gave them, or rather, which give the opponents more room to actually hurt them. And Slovakia did, or rather, they tried their best, during the transitions, and they were just able to find a way to punish them, actually. But nevertheless, I think going forward, Belgium just need to be a bit more clinical in front of goal. Them scoring goals will help them going forward in the tournament.
Now, do you think this is the biggest shock in the Euros history? Yes, because maybe. I don't know what Belgium is losing in the hands of Slovakia. Come on.
Yeah, but
I was
then again,
expecting the banging of the goals, just like Germany and Spain did.
Yeah, but then this Slovakian team has been tight-knit. They have a very good defense, talking about the likes of Lobotka, Duda, and Krunic as well. And they've been consistent throughout the qualifiers, definitely. And then they've kept the same set of players.
So
it's easier. There's chemistry in the
Continuity.
team. And then, they've got a coaching staff with someone like Marek Hamzik, we know who was the Napoli legend as well. This is someone who has been there before, and he will be passing on experiences to them and, giving them the right motivation. And honestly, with all these underdog teams coming into the Euros, be expecting more surprises.
Yeah.
You never know who you're going to see in the final. I mean, 2004, don't forget, Greece went all the way to end up winning the tournament. So anything is possible.
Anything is indeed possible. I remember the African Cup of Nations in Côte d'Ivoire. It broke a lot of records. So I'm expecting the Euros to break more records in football. But let's remind you the results from the Group E encounter, where we did see Romania up against Ukraine 3-0. Now, the Ukraine fans who went to watch this match, they say it's a bittersweet encounter. They're happy that they lost, though. They're hoping that the fact that with all that is happening in Ukraine, they can be able to use this to channel in. And then for the fact that they even made an appearance in the Euros, they're really happy. They're not caring about the result. Most of them went over there to watch the match. They were happy about their team parading the colors, donning the colors of Ukraine, even in the midst of the war with Russia. Let's listen to the fans, and when we come back, we will be talking more about the English Premier League.
Happy to be here. This is an incredible opportunity. So grateful for the players who did their best, and we also thank them as well as thank all the soldiers who protect Ukraine today.
The atmosphere was great. So like we gave our team like the most support we could have, we could give. I mean. It just I don't know, like we're still proud that we're Ukraine, so like we come here and we gave all the support to the team and we did everything, and it's very important for us.
I came from Ukraine, from Kharkiv.
Hi, Romania!
And it's very pity that our team is not win.
It's important because like to see that like we all united and all the Ukrainians they like support, because we have a war back home, and like we show that we're all united. There's a lot of people here, and we show that like we come and support at least footballers. Doesn't matter the score, but it's what it is.
Okay, I'm very certain that Super Eagles of Nigeria would give anything to get these kind of fans, you know, supporting them even at wins and losses.
Definitely, Super Eagles need such fans. I think we just really have stern fans in Nigeria. But, you know, talking about the Ukrainians, I think the team going for the Euros is just like a ray of sunlight compared to what they've gone through over the last
football does.
Exactly. So compared to what they've been through in the last couple of years. And going into the tournament, I think we'll see much better from them. It was a shocking result not to even get a goal from the game against Romania. I mean, kudos to the Romanians. They played fine football, but I think the Ukrainians have a lot of star power, talking about the likes of Alexander Zinchenko, Dobik, who had a great season with Girona, Mudryk. He had a topsy-turvy season with Chelsea, but nevertheless, the talent is there.
And I'm very happy that they came in their numbers, you know?
Yeah,
in spite of the whole thing happening, they came in their numbers to support their team.
Definitely, and they have every right to do so. I mean, they also got a Champions League winner in Abdul-basit, who had a brilliant season with Real Madrid.
Yeah.
So they've got the star power, they've got a good team, but I think they just need to keep their heads down, be humble, and go back to the drawing board and prepare ahead to win their last two group stage games.
Now we are hoping that they can do that. Let's see the Group F fixture for the day. We have Turkey up against Georgia, not forgetting Portugal, who will take on Czech Republic. All right, there we see for sure the group standings. Let's see who has a chance to top the group and who does not. Now, of course, you know for sure that Germany were the hosts. They are on 3 points. Switzerland just joined them after a very impressive opener. Let's see Group B right now. Quickly. Let's see what Group B is looking like. Spain are leading that with a very, you know, commanding opener there. Italy are sitting in the second position. Albania and Croatia. I'm a bit surprised, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I thought this group was the group of death for me. To me, it still is. And don't be surprised, Croatia might win their last two games. They are giant slayers. They are giant slayers.
But that's a fading generation, you know.
Yes, it is.
And this is a generation that's got young players in the mix.
Yeah, but nevertheless, I think the
Euros
Croatian team
has got young players.
And that Croatian team in particular, they've got a good balance between youth and experience. Talking about the likes of Modric, Brozovic, Kovacic, and then talking about young players like Vadio. So they will find their rhythm in due time.
Okay, let's see if they find your rhythm. Looking at all the groups, quickly, let's see what we've got. We've got some exciting ones to showcase here. But time to that, friend. Remember, the English team, they say they are the Super Eagles when it comes to they play like they have a star-studded squad, but will go on the pitch of play and settle for one goal, just like Super Eagles do, you know.
Yeah, I think Gareth Southgate is the architect of their downfall so far. Yes, they got a 1-0 victory, but they were not convincing. And I'm hoping he gets selection rights going forward. Hopefully Luke Shaw also comes back. He would give a bit of, synergy to someone like Phil Foden, who was nowhere to be found. Although I do expect Phil Foden to step up as a star player for England in this tournament.
Okay, quickly. Let's move to the English Premier League right now. The die is cast. Manchester United, or the Red Devils, you will start your 2024-2025 Premier League season with a home fixture against Fulham. Don't say that's an easy one for you, because it's going to be very tough going into the next matches, the next 5 matches of the English Premier League for next season. The opening game of the campaign will be played on Friday, August 16, and the kickoff will be at 8 p.m. They would usher in the new season with that game against Fulham. Fans will have to wait until December for the first Manchester derby of the season, away at Manchester City on December 14. The reverse fixture will be at Old Trafford, and it will be played April 5, 2025. Boxing Day will see Manchester United travel to Wales, and they will finish the 2024-2025 campaign at home at Aston Villa on May 25. But looking at these fixtures that was released, I have a bit of concern. We have Ipswich, new members from the EFL Championship, and were promoted. They will have to face Liverpool at 12:30. Their last Premier League match 22 years ago was also against the Reds. So I'm wondering, are they taking the same blueprints for every season? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, definitely. I think the football script writers, they'll have to put that in mind, talking about the EPL. But nevertheless, I think the fixture list is actually quite interesting. Some important things to take out from is that West Ham does not leave London till November.
Would that be a good one for them?
It could be. It could be for them.
It can be a bittersweet experience for them.
It could be for them. Manchester City has no difficult game against the top 6 after February. Arsenal does not have any huge fixture compiled list between April and May, as they are accustomed to in seasons past. The toughest team that Arsenal is going to face between April and May is Liverpool. So it's looking good for some teams, and it's looking difficult for other teams.
But okay, right now, I'm really worried about Chelsea. Next season has not started already, but Chelsea are already out of the top 4. Forget. They're already out of the top 4.
That's a prediction. That's a prediction.
No. Do you know when you're facing Manchester City? And if Liverpool go past Ipswich, and we've got Arsenal, an easy ride for them, Manchester United are easy rides for them, where would Chelsea be?
Well, I mean, there are 38 games to play in the season. Chelsea will have the entirety of the season.
But they will certainly not be in the top 4. Call it spade is spade. And let's talk about that master against apprentice for Chelsea, their first match of the season. Remember that it's a repeat of that 2024-2025 season. It will be great to see Maresca, how he will go up against Pep Guardiola.
Definitely, and a lot of people have, given a lot of credit to Maresca for helping Pep develop a lot of young players that he has had in his squad, talking about the likes of Phil Foden, Palmer as well. And Maresca has also coached the likes of Romeo Lavia, and he's got a good experience in developing.
Well,
players.
He left the Leicester without a coach, and they also have a tax ahead, being promoted into the EPL.
Definitely, they do. I'm glad that they only spent 1 season in the EFL Championship. It showed that they've got quality, but also I must give credit to Enzo Maresca, who helped them to play fine and beautiful football. Yes, they do concede goals, but they always score more goals than their opponents. But coming into the Premier League this season, they'll need to find a balance, and hopefully they get a coach as soon as possible. Rumor has it that former Chelsea and Brighton coach Graham Potter might be the man for the job.
Right, let's wait and see if that rumor become news, certainly for us. But Liverpool have been brought to the fore. Why do they have to always play newly promoted side on game week 1? Why? Well, and the timing is a bit suspicious. 12:30 p.m. Come on.
Well, I mean, 12:30 for the first game of the season is not so bad, assuming they were in the.
But it's always Liverpool campaign. And Manchester City. They're always spread against newly promoted side, like small teams to give them their first 3 points. Oh, you know.
Well, I wouldn't go ahead and say that. I would just say that is the luck of the newly promoted team. It might be just baptism by fire. Considering the fact that, you know, Ipswich's last Premier League game was against Liverpool, it's only right that they begin their new era in the EPL against Liverpool as well.
But you notice that Manchester City have always had 2 tough games within the last 10 games of the season.
True.
It seems to be happening every season, and it gives them a leeway.
Definitely
Always
it
gives
does,
them a
because
leeway.
once they get into that winning stride, it's difficult for any team to stop them. So let's see what it is. I think all the teams know what to do in terms of how to stop Manchester City. They were not so fluid in this last season. So if you want to win the title, you need to hit the ground running from the get-go and make it difficult for Manchester City to catch up with you.
Don't think I would overlook Arsenal. Arsenal has got an away London derby and a visit to the reigning champions in back-to-back weeks. Do you think they can live up to expectations from the fans?
Well, first of all, they do not have a choice. That's talking about Mikel Arteta and his team as well. Yes, very tough first 3 away fixtures, but it's going to be a testament to what they want to do and what they want to achieve this new season. Yes, in the last 2 seasons, they were very close to winning the title, but I mean, close is not good enough. The fans expect them to win the trophy. And talking about Edu and Arteta's 5-year plan, they are going into the 5th year now, and they're expected to win a major trophy. So all the best to the Arsenal, and let's hope that they can, you know, keep the naysayers shut.
All right, let's wrap up this football conversation by showing you the first 5 fixtures for the top teams in England. Let's see what we'll have first. If it's Manchester City, Liverpool, Aston Villa, West Ham, and also Arsenal. Not forgetting Tottenham Hotspur. For the likes of Chelsea, Manchester City, I beg your pardon, they will have Chelsea, they will have Ipswich, they will have West Ham, they will also have the likes of Arsenal. These are home fixtures for them. Only 2 away fixtures for the first 5. For Manchester United, they got Fulham, they've got Brighton and Hove Albion, Liverpool, Southampton, and Crystal Palace. So they've got only 2 home fixtures and 3 away fixtures. Newcastle, they will have to contend also. Newcastle has got 2 home and 3 aways, while Nottingham Forest has got 2 home also, 3 aways. Let's see for the other 5. First 5 fixtures for the other teams on parade. Southampton has got Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, Manchester United, and Ipswich. Tottenham Hotspur would face Leicester City first. They'll face Everton, Newcastle, Arsenal, and Bournemouth. Of course, that will be 2 away fixtures, 3 home fixtures. Let's see if that can work in their favour. West Ham has got Aston Villa at home, Crystal Palace away from home, Manchester City at home, Fulham away from home, and Chelsea at home. Wolverhampton Wanderers, they've got Arsenal away, Chelsea home, Nottingham Forest away, Newcastle home, and Aston Villa away. It would show you others of the first 5 for other teams. Liverpool has got Ipswich. Yes, easy one for them. At 12:30, the opening game for the season. They've got Manchester United away, Nottingham at home. I'm hoping that when they meet Manchester United away, they can go with a revenge mission under onslaught after that FA Cup miss. Okay?
Definitely, they do need to do that. And Slot needs to hit the ground running, considering the fact that Liverpool just ended an era with Jurgen Klopp, who was able to help them secure a Champions League title, a Premier League title, 2 Carabao Cups and an FA Cup as well. They won the Club World Cup as well, so UEFA Super Cup as well. So that's a stellar CV and a stellar record that Jurgen Klopp has left for Liverpool. So it's up to Slot to show the Liverpool fans that he's capable enough to take them into a new phase of being dominant and winning trophies.
He better does that, because nobody's got patience. Nobody's going to believe like we did for, Jurgen Klopp when he told us, stop doubting, keep believing. Let's wait for that catchphrase from Slot. All right, to wrap up football conversation, we have basketball coming up. Do not go anywhere. In the Game continues. Welcome back. Still watching In the Game. Time to talk basketball right now. I've still got Okwe Adebari joining me, but it's all about celebrations for Celtics. They knew they were going to clinch this one. I really feel so. It's a torrid Boston Celtics. They are once again on top of the list of teams with the most NBA titles. And their formidable duo of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they showed up in a big way to make this happen for Celtics. The Celtics beat the Dallas Mavericks 106-88 in Game 5 of the NBA Finals in Boston on Monday night. in order to win 4-1 and secure their league record 18th title. Celtic star Tatum, he had a good game high of 31 points alongside with 11 assists and 8 rebounds, while fellow standout MVP of the day, Jaylen Brown, added 21 points, 8 rebounds and 6 assists. This is Celtics' first championship since 2008, and it moves Boston Celtics past the Lakers franchise 17-1 in Minneapolis and the Los Angeles to sit alone at top of that list of clubs with the most titles in the NBA history. The Mavericks, they had been trying to become the first team in the NBA history to recover from a 0-3 deficit to win a playoff series. They avoided a sweep by beating Celtics 122-84 in Game 4 in Dallas on Friday. But that just set the stage for Celtics to win the title on their home floor. I will be joined with a basketball commentator, one who knows how to do what he knows how to do best in this conversation with me, myself, and Okpe Adebari. I've got Femi Adefeso. Thank you so much, Femi, for your patience, and thank you for joining us on In the Game.
Thank you, Nyechi. It is a delight to be on the show.
Great to have you. Congratulations, I would say, to Boston Celtics for their 2023-2024 NBA championship. It's been a long time coming, Femi, and we know how much this means to the team. What do you think? What adjustments do you think Celtics had to make in order to secure this decisive Game 5 victory on home court?
I think the first adjustment was Kristaps Porzingis, right? If you check the game they lost, that's game 4 and even game 3, where he had that injury, you saw that the Mavs, had some level of momentum, which Porzingis sort of disrupts, if you check it out, really, because he brings a new dynamics. He's long, he can shoot the ball, it gives more pressure to Lively and their centers, which obviously dominated Game 4. If you look at it, running through the stat sheets, another very interesting proposition, which the Celtics did better, way better, is in the rebounds category, where they out-rebounded the Dallas Mavericks 51-35. If you look at Game 4, you'll see that virtually all the points that the Mavs made were inside. Alley-oops, dunks, and they just dominated, and really how they started. I think the Celtics learned that they shouldn't give the Mavs a chance. So they killed them from the very first quarter. They allowed them chase the game throughout. Unfortunately, they couldn't hold on to the pressure. The rhythm was already in the way of the Celtics. Like you rightly said, everyone already expected that they would win. And big shout out to the likes of Al Horford, who played strong, made big plays down the stretch, especially on the defensive end. Derek White, who was also very formidable. And for me, the X factor of this series, Jrue Holiday. I know in another world, he would be the most valuable player of this NBA finals, because his impact is very intangible. Some of these things you don't see on the stat sheets, but he was a difference maker in ensuring Kyrie Irving was not comfortable. Kristaps Porzingis shot very poor, bad shots, difficult shots in trying to get the buckets. It's just interesting that finally these Celtics guys have gone over the hump. I remember how close they were with Ime Udoka, and now they've been knocking in the corners in the conference finals and deep runs in the playoffs. So finally they've gotten over that ordeal. Perhaps maybe a dynasty is in the fall, because they have a young coach, which I don't think they will change. Maybe add a couple of pieces. I think the likes of Al Horford will be looking at calling it a day sooner or later. If the likes of Jrue Holiday get longer term contracts, then just a few more pieces, this will be a very solid team in that Eastern Conference, which is not very strong anyway. And they'll make multiple trips to the NBA Finals, and hopefully they can get 1 or 2 more championships.
All right, Femi. First of all, thank you for joining us once again. Talking about the coach, Joe Mazzulla, at the age of 35, I think he's joined with Bill Russell, youngest coach to win the NBA championship. Talking about his impact, first of all, you said they were very close with Ime Udoka, but what would you say about Joe? Do you think he was the final piece to the puzzle, helping them to secure this 18th NBA title?
Not necessarily. because if you look at what Joe Mazzulla has done, is he has carried on the culture that Ime Udoka left. And I also think Ime Udoka built his philosophy around Bradley Stevens, who is now the general manager. So it's a case of consistency and keeping up to your style and eventually paying off. That's what I see for the Celtics. I mean, when Ime Udoka, was out, it was good that they still kept the coaching staff from within. Joe Mazzulla was one of the assistant coaches for Ime. So he just stepped up into the role and he just continued. He didn't change anything. They just were a bit more aggressive on the offensive end. I mean, bringing in Drew Holiday was a big joker. He's a huge centerpiece. Let's not forget that Drew won the NBA title with the Milwaukee Bucks. So he already understands how to navigate these waters, and particularly the element that he brings, the defense, the zero ego that comes with his game. I majorly think that was more of the X factor than even the coach himself. And again, like I said, in another world, I think Drew Holiday would be going on with the most valuable player of this NBA Finals.
All right, but it did not really feel good to see a final where one side will be dominating all through the series. What did the Dallas Mavericks' effort to avoid a clean sweep, especially in Game 4, reveal about their resilience? And do you think that Boston Celtics intentionally made sure that this Game 5, they win this title on their home court?
Okay, I'll answer the last question first. I don't think so.
Okay.
Game 4 was a total disaster. I mean, I watched that game.
Okay.
The Mavs came out guns blazing. They knew their back was against the wall, that this is the final game of the season. We lose and it's all over. So they really came out with a punch from the jump ball, and they were not looking back. So the Mavs gave it their all. Not forgetting also, it was home court. They were playing in Dallas. Their fans, they would not want, the Celtics to celebrate right in front of their fans, right? So I think that was the mentality, if you ask me, that the Dallas Mavericks came with. Also looking back, I think Game 3, you remember there was a long run, a 20-2 run for the Mavs, which also was very key, and we all thought, oh, these guys are going to take this until they let it slip. So I would not exactly say it was one-sided, especially with the win also in Game 4 for the Mavs, which was a huge blowout. Showed that they have substance, but I think the squad is a little bit thin. Their bench is weak. There's heavy reliance on the offense of Kyrie Irving and Luka Modric. I said Luka Modric. Luka Doncic.
Luka Doncic, yeah.
Luka Doncic, which, of course, also was the liability on the defensive force. And I think the Celtics knew that. They played to that. They went through him every step of the way because his lateral movements are not the quickest. And I think that's one assignment that Luka will need to work on in the summer, his defense, if he's going to be able to help this team go. I like the leadership of Kyrie. I think he knows what to do. His maturity, is the way he has handled himself and the team. That team is good. I think they'll make another trip back to these finals, but that bench will need some fortification if it's Jason Kidd and this group of guys that will eventually win. All in all, I think it was a good final. I think it was written in the stars for the Celtics. They've been knocking the door, and this year is their year. I'm particularly excited as well. Just let out the bag as a Celtics fan.
Oh, really? I can see that.
All right, Femi, I know, talking about the MVP conversation, I mean, Jaylen Brown is the MVP, but I can't, and then you also
first
gave
time, the first time. I'm really proud.
You gave a worthy mention to Drew Holiday as well. He could have been the MVP as well. But let's talk about Jason Tatum. He's only the sixth NBA player who leads his team at the end of the season in points, rebounds, and assists. Wasn't that good enough for him to get the MVP?
So how the NBA works, right? And there's a dichotomy between the postseason and the regular season, right? So the regular season most valuable player award went to Nikola Jokic, which I mean you could debate about it for the rest of the show, right? So I get that, but during the playoffs, honestly, Jason Tatum wasn't the Jason Tatum of the regular season. Jaylen Brown actually showed that the burden of scoring, showed that the burden of leadership, and rightfully so, even though I've mentioned Drew Holiday a couple of times on this show, Jaylen Brown actually number one on the list to be the most valuable player, because without him taking off the points, the rebounds, the efforts that he made, the big plays down the stretch, the dunks, the posters, the Celtics will not be in this position that they are in. So I think from a leadership standpoint, I don't think Jason has grown to that, a point where he's the all-round leader of the team just yet. Jaylen Brown proved that in this NBA finals. We saw that was missing in the last trip they made to the NBA finals as well. Jason Tatum was lost. We couldn't find him. He wasn't making buckets. He was under pressure. Yes, when he really mattered the most. But not taking away anything from him. I mean, in all teams, there's a Batman and there's a Robin, and sometimes they can change depending on what season of life they are in. But for these finals, Jaylen Brown was Batman, Jason Tatum was Robin.
All right, I would say that I could really relish that development for Jaylen Brown. He was drafted 3rd overall out of California in 2016, and now he is an NBA champion. Come on, in year 8, first time MVP for him. I saw the voting counts, and I can say the spirit did not reveal it. Everyone had picked Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown. We only had the likes of Jason Tatum on 3 counts, or 4 counts, if I can have this right now, on 4 counts. So it's like everyone wanted to just give it to Jaylen Brown.
Yes, I mean, if I had the vote too, I would have gone to Jaylen Brown. Again, like I said, number one on the list. But if I was going to look at the second person, so again, this thing is about points, is about, the headlines, really. But for the intangibles, the real difference in terms of, nobody can stop Luka Doncic, really, with the offensive firepower he comes with. Same thing goes to a Kyrie Irving, who can move to anywhere. He can walk through angles, get to the buckets at will. Jrue Holiday more than slowed them down. He made them inefficient. And those things actually paid off on the other side because, again, Luka Doncic is a liability on defense, and they really riled on that. But definitely, Jaylen Brown deserves that most valuable player award.
Yes, he deserves it. He deserves it for the very first time. We have been speaking to a basketball commentator. He had to stay late at night in order to give this analysis. Come on, what we do for basketball. It is a game of love. Thank you so much, Femi Adefeso, for joining us on the show today.
Always a delight.
We appreciate your contribution on the show. And thank you to my colleague, Okwe Adebari, for making it an interesting one on In the Game today on the show.
Oh, it was a pleasure.
Remember, you can connect with us 9 p.m. West African time for Game On. Get your game on. At night, we're ready to keep you updated in the world of sport. I am Onyinyechi Obaro. Thank you for being there. Bye-bye.